Ladies and gentlemen, another fond welcome back to Gothic. Today, it is my intention to take care of the Chromanin quest, which we started by visiting the fog tower in the previous episode, and got no further than that. And I would like to extend my thanks to my friend Doug for clarifying that the literal translation of the German term for lighthouse is literally lighthouse. So, fog tower seems to have just been an invented term for the specific tower in this game. And as such, well, my train of thought ends there, so there you go. Now, I don't know why I'm kind of skipping like that. What's happening in the last episode? I think I might need to restart my computer. I'm gonna try and take down... Oh goodness, this might have been a terrible idea. Ouch. Oh, gracious, help me. You know, this dodge is more useful than I would have given it credit for. I wonder why it's not a mechanic that's ever actually really detailed. It might actually... Maybe it's in the, maybe it's in the manual or something. I've never really owned a proper disc version. I bought it off a friend of mine, but it just came in the jewel case, so it didn't have the manual with it. But I would like... It would have been interesting if they had explained that. And it would be weird if they didn't, so I'm not really sure. The reason I'm coming down this way, I could explore a bit down here, and I do intend to do that before we really go too far in the further quest with the Sleeper's Temple, but I did want to demonstrate exactly how useful this Ulu Mulu is. For you see, we had seen orcs up here before. Watch what happens when they lay eyes on us. Basically nothing. And in fact, we can even talk with them, although it's a very shallow conversation. So as long as you're wearing the Ulu Mulu, they won't do anything. But if you take it out... Now, I'm not really sure what they say there. Obviously, it's not English, and it's probably not any other language, but Varrock is the name of at least one of their weapons, I think, so it might just be a general term in the Orcish language for weapon. And Nemrock, I'm assuming, is basically the word for sheath. Telling you to put away your weapon, but it's also interesting because Nemrock is the name of an orc in Gothic 3. The orc commander who kind of oversees the mining operations in Geldern. So, interesting how the language of this orc culture becomes perhaps a little bit different in the broader orc culture. I wonder if there is some variation to their languages, but again, I'm not really sure Pronobites ever actually thought too deeply about it. They were just words that sounded like words that an orc would say, or an orc might be named. So the Ulu Mulu is effectively useless as a weapon, so we shall not have it equipped the whole time. But we noticed this tower before. This tower is literally the highest point in the game that is remotely accessible or feasibly accessible. There are a few places that might be higher that you can reach if you really, really tried. You might even be able to get on top of the waterfalls there. I'm not really sure how, but it's always an option. And perhaps that the stone fortress that Lester's hanging out at might be a little bit higher, but because it's kind of tucked away in that canyon, in that mountain there, it's not exactly a good vantage point. So this fortress here is definitely the most useful vantage point in the entire colony. Even this side we can see pretty far, but the unfortunate draw distance is making that a bit difficult. Now this is annoying. This ramp here is too steep for us to be able to climb. Actually, I did kind of address this in my Chronobytes update video. I talked about... Whoa! Ho-ho! I don't know why he's double jumps sometimes. I talked about how since day one, since the first Gothic game, this game, they had prevented you from getting to places they didn't want you to get to by making the mountainside steep. And they had a function in the game where if your character was standing on an incline that was more than about 60% or 60 degrees, then he would slide down. And that's how they prevented you from getting to places they didn't want you to reach. Alright, so climbing this is not really terribly difficult. And here is another old book. Let's give this a quick gander.
I found the book.
Carried from the tides of time, Chromanin's visions have opened my eyes. No price could ever be high enough to ever renounce my faith in them, for it has touched my heart too intensely. What is divided, spelled with an E, will be reunited after being massively separated for a short time. So yet another obscure little clue. Just very awkward use of the English language there, as with last time, and as will be with every time. So, you know, it's kind of hard to really discern anything from that, but as long as you keep in mind that most of these clues refer to a feature of the landscape, then you can use that as a reference. So this is one that I think was the hardest for me personally to really figure out. But if y'all remember, near the beginning is a river, or at least a stream that we had to cross. And there is an island that kind of divides it into two streams for a brief amount of time. And then the two streams come back together at the end of it. Pardon me for once again using these exploits, but I'm simply trying to save y'all some time. And I was asked by... Son of a bitch, I already forgot who it was. I was asked by somebody, and I apologize for forgetting who you were already. Normally I would write these down, but I didn't have as many comments today as I have in the past. But, yeah, I was asked, who did you put it? I'm not sure what the hell just happened there. I took flight. So I was asked why I wasn't really using speed potions, for example. You drink these, it allows you to sprint, which basically you move about twice as fast. Because this game has no stamina bar, you can't sprint otherwise. But this will let you go for a solid 2 minutes. And it can be very useful. It saves a lot of time, and merchants do stock these potions pretty regularly. So I probably will start using them more, but in reality, if I ever had a lot of traveling, I would either use that opportunity to answer comments, or I would just cut them out of the video so you didn't have to deal with them. And here is this third old book. So this is the island I was talking about. You see the stone here. creates a little island that separates the river into two separate streams for a little while. So let's read the next book. Chromanin 3. Oh, ancient gods, how can it be that a man like me, simple and unworthy, may receive such great a legacy? I feel great fear to lose all of it again by a slight faltering in word or deed. The wise fisherman occasionally tries to get lucky on the other side of the lake. So, fishing and lakes. And what is that scavenger doing over there? Bad place to be alone, my friend. So, let us make way to where we think this clue might lie. If you remember, outside the new camp, the gate of the new camp, is a lake which has a couple of ruined fishing cabins on it. And actually, I forgot, we have to return to not Milton, but to Diego. Since we talked to Lester and Gorn and told them to make it to the meeting place, I think Diego might have something more to tell us. Or like a kind of a crust reward for it? No? Maybe not. I don't even remember that being a quest. But we'll return to Diego nonetheless and just make sure.
For the honor...
What? You don't get to say that. You're not a magician.
For the honor of magic.
Oh, Diego, you are deluded. Alright, so there's nothing there. Never mind. So... we can take the long way, the safe way, to get around to the fishing cabin on the lake, but there is a quicker way that puts us in a bit more danger. And that is through the gateway here, and into the Orc land. While we're here, we might as well take a... oh, whoa, my goodness. Them's a lot of dogs. I kind of wanted to take a quick look at this cave to the left here. And in fact, I think we might be able to get over the mountain if we wanted to actually get in there, but let's see if we can deal with some orc dogs. Oh, I got a bunch of them stunned. But it's not really working too well, is it? These guys can barely hurt me at all. Fuck off, would you? Now that's what I like to see. So the charge attacks can be difficult to pull off if you're surrounded by mobs or even just engaged with one enemy in melee. But spells that have an area of effect like that can be extremely useful. So someone clearly made camp here, but seems to have bailed in a hurry. But they left some treasures behind, it seems. Some very useless treasures. So, if you want to do some exploring around here, the Ulu Mulu can be useful, at least at keeping the orcs at bay. But, obviously it's not that useful when you get accosted by other enemies, like the orc dogs, which, in spite of the fact that the orc dogs and the biters seem to be domesticated by the orcs, I don't think any of them really respond if you attack their creatures. So it's a bit interesting. Oh, nope, never mind, they do. I am grossly mistaken. Let us try and escape here. Oh, you think you're hot shit? Wow, this is weird. Get off me. Now, orc dogs and wolves, for that matter, are very annoying to fight because they are, even more so than lizards, are very prone to doing the backstep and avoiding your hits. So they are extremely frustrating. Now, the fortunate thing about the orcs is, even if you aggro them once, as long as you have the Ulu Mulu equipped, you can just run away, and they won't continue to attack you. So we can use this to our advantage and just run right by them. You see, they're not entirely pleased with us, but they have no choice but to obey the symbolic nature of the Ulu Mulu, so they have no choice. They have to acknowledge it and obey its honorable integrity. Now, hold on a second here. I've never actually been up here. Is this something for something? Oh. Well. This is very interesting. I've never actually gone up this way. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have found an alternative way into the orc town here. Which, again, we are going to put off for now simply because we are busy with another matter. One that might make us quite a bit more powerful and prepared to actually take on the perils of the Sleeper's Temple. Beast of Shadows. Ow. Lucky shot. Alrighty then, so if you notice, we're here back at the Ring of Stone, and, well, because I kind of took my time, I guess we didn't really save a whole lot of time overall, did we? But no matter. If you just kind of rush through it, you can get here quicker than if you took the safer route. And of course you end up here, and you can either try and aim for the water, but failing that, of course, we do have the little exploit there. So yonder is the fishing cabin. And around here is Chromanin Volume 4. So let us have another read.
I found the book.
I dare not hope to be in the presence of Chromanin one day. Gone are the days of wasting and wailing, so easy it will be to achieve absolute perfection. I'm not far from it. Long forgotten are the deeds of those who once were abroad. Once were abroad. Well, abroad likely referring to, distant lands across the seas, so... And long forgotten, well... Certainly... Some of the oldest, well, I don't know. I lost my train of thought with that one. My apologies. But, well, once we're abroad, that implies, as I said, people from across the seas. So, well, there is a long-forgotten shipwreck where we encountered the fire lizards before. Ooh, and I got the blood fly with that one. Beautiful. So, Storm of Fire has proven itself more useful than I really expected of it. Got more wolves over here. So, we will have to make our way back to that shipwreck. Think of hot shit? Well, yeah, not shit. Now that one over there really doesn't seem to give a shit. But now they're all dead and burning, so it is of little consequence. Let's have another one of these. It's interesting how the inventory will glitch out sometimes. So you can continue to move or, like, scroll the camera while using items in your inventory. Anyway, back to the shipwreck. So I did want to kind of read this before we went on. I kind of forgot about this. I took a very strange tome from the skeleton mage in the fog tower, Chromanin. An answer, a riddle to a mysterious stranger set to this world. What is divided will be reunited after being massively separated. So the journals don't really offer any extra guidance on the riddles. Just kind of reiterates them. Anyway, we have book number 5.
I found the book.
But I shall not walk this path alone. This honor is mine. I must accept to share the power within myself with the worthy ones who are to come and find me. I hope they are coming soon. You will find me where it all began. So I will find the bearer of Chromanin's power where this whole riddle began. Back in the caves beneath the tower. And there we shall have our answers. There we shall be endowed with this wonderful, mysterious power of Chromanin. That was an accident. Goodness, I seem to have left a lot of these guys behind. Well, no matter. We shall cut another swath through them and find this bearer of this mysterious power. And it shall be ours. Except I have no idea where the hell I'm going. Ah, yes, here we are. So where does this man lie in wait? Where is our power? No, seriously, where is it? No. It can't be. He's dead.
I found him. He's feeding the rats.
Whew. Shit! Run! We have been duped. Not by the bearer of Chromanin, but by the power itself. Fuck you. Well, that is a shame then. So all this searching this man had us doing to find his power, to join him in the glory of Chromanin, amounted to nothing, for the power that he both revered and feared only came to destroy him. Well, suppose it's only justice to do away with the terrible things that did him in. Die, fell beasts. So, that, my friends, is that. That is what amounts to Chromanin. Unfortunately, now it did wrap up in kind of an interesting way, but nonetheless, it was essentially just a what do you call it? It was all just really a ruse by Piranha Bytes, and the truth behind that, it's not that they intended to kind of have you run in circles on a wild goose chase and then just kind of leave you with the blue balls for all that power that they promised you. In truth, that is one of the many things that they never got around to finishing in this game. They had so much of the quest prepared, but they just weren't able to actually make anything of it in the time constraints that they had. And I don't think they were just really certain where they wanted the quest to end and what they wanted this powerful Chromanin to be. So the whole quest of the stranger amounts basically to nothing. The mysterious stranger is dead. The demons have killed him. There seemed to be some kind of bond between him and those creatures from hell. Otherwise he wouldn't have come back to this place. He's taken the secret he apparently wanted to share to the grave. And that is that, my friends. Anyway, this kind of ended up being a shorter episode, just by virtue of the fact that this quest doesn't take all that long to complete if you know what you're doing, but it doesn't make sense for me to really continue on to anything new right now, so we're going to call the episode here. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.